Hey, what do you say? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the SlackPacks show, sponsored by ProfitX and Pickett Sports, hosted by yours truly, SlackPacks, co-hosted by yours other truly, Viggy. And today we got special guest, Danny. Double down, Danny, my glorious king. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to talk some fantasy.
Yeah, let's fucking do it, huh?
Do it.
Viggy, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Good luck and
Been a good day.
With that being said, I'm trying to think if there's anything that has happened in the NFL world that we should discuss beforehand. What about you guys? What do you guys think?
Been a couple carted offs today. Training camp's full in effect. I know Chris Brazel went down.
Saw that.
Today,
Pearsall?
which is Pearsall.
Pearsall looks
There's
like
I'm seeing that surgery is likely for Pearsall, which would
I was gonna
actually
say
knock him out
Brian
for the
Brees.
entire year.
Brian
Brees
Brees tore his ACL.
He's from my area. I watched him play.
Yeah.
We played him in football freshman year, absolutely insane. And then we played him in basketball, and he's actually a crazy athlete. That was
went
when
to
Dad was
Clemson, right?
also. Yeah.
He went to Clemson. Is he the
Yep.
is he the kid that like in high school everyone was like glazing over because he was like 6'6" in high school?
Yeah, he was like
Right.
the unanimous number one
Yeah,
in his
yeah.
class. Like it wasn't even close. But yeah, like we played them in basketball, and that was when Dabo Sweeney pulled up.
Yeah.
So it was actually pretty sick. I got to say what's up to him. So, but yeah,
So
Pearsall news is probably the biggest in regards to like a fantasy relevant player.
I saw Shamar Stewart. I got a notification. What happened there?
Yeah, he got carted off too. I mean, that guy can't catch a break. He like legit can't catch a break.
That sucks.
I mean, I wasn't the thing is like you get
fucked.
Yeah. I mean, the Brazel news is pretty important in regards to Tet because it's more than likely going to move Tet back to the outside.
Yeah.
Which is a little shaky because Bryce Young does have the trouble getting the ball out of his hand and getting it to where he needs to be, changes up the route tree. I was really dying to see Tet in the slot. I would have thought it was an awesome matchup.
Yeah, I did like that change him in the slot because I think it opened up him in the slot and I think it opened up Coker on the outside. So that kind of made me a little higher on Coker if he's that outside guy instead of Tet. Well, with Tet, I should say. But
yeah,
Tet.
Danny, was that you trying to sell me on Coker earlier in the year?
Dude, I'm just a cokehead. I've always been a cokehead.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
I'm a cokehead. I mean, like, I don't think like if you play deep leagues and you play dynasty leagues, I think Jalen Coker's like a relevant player in those regards. But like, if you're doing a year of redraft, he's probably going to be the guy you either draft like very last 2 rounds or like pick up off waivers if he's cooking up a little bit. But I mean, he's in a tier of guys that I like, and I will always like root for them regardless.
I think that's a good take. Yeah. I really do, especially that's how I feel about basically that whole Panthers lineup. Like, there's just a bunch of dogs over there. Like, they deserve to win, you know? I hope best for all of them, especially, like, people like Bryce Young. You love to see Bryce Young win. Nice, smiley guy.
Yeah.
You know, tries his ass off, and that's all you ask for.
Yeah.
With that being said, let's get into the fucking meat and potatoes, boys. How about that? I'm debating how I should start this, okay? I think I'm just going to ask you, okay, if you got 1-1, where are you going? Like, realistically, right? Okay, you got, according to this, you got 4 options. I think Junior Gibbs is the solid one. Like, is that obvious? Are we?
I think my 101's Bijan.
Yeah, I would. So right now, so I was on the fence because okay, you can't go wrong. Both of them are going to be great. Right. I want that to be known right now. I just have like this like gut feeling in my body that if Tua is starting for the Falcons all year, I see a world where Bijan's got like 80 receptions on the year. Potentially.
Dead ass. Yeah.
I mean, everyone's seen what Achane did, and they love the whole dump down, but like you're giving a dump down to a guy who's legit a freak at running back.
Correct.
So that is where I'm like kind of sold on Bijan, and I do think Gibbs can be really good. Don't get me wrong, but I am a little bit hesitant on the Lions play calling with Petsing or however you pronounce it. Right now, I'd probably target Laporta the most of Lions because he's a big tight ends guy. I'm not saying Gibbs isn't going to be bad. Me personally, I think I know what I'm getting out of Bijan at his absolute floor, and I think his floor is higher than Gibbs' floor, but his ceiling is capped a little bit less than Gibbs. So it's really just choosing what you feel is more safe at 101.
Yeah, I think Bijan's definitely gonna have more volume, more touches throughout the whole year. I do think Gibbs will end up probably scoring more touchdowns, but if it's Tua, and even if it is Penix, like last year, Bijan got fed. I think he had over 100 targets last year, if I'm not mistaken. So like whatever quarterback he has, I mean, they're gonna feed him the ball out of the backfield. I mean, he's their best player. I mean, he's gonna get the ball probably. He's gonna probably have over 200 this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, the floor is definitely higher than Gibbs' floor, but Gibbs has that touchdown upside. But in my opinion, with the 101, you're not going for. I mean, you're obviously going for an upside play, but it's more. I feel like you're going for a safer play because whoever you're between, the 101 is obviously going to put up numbers.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like
Bijan had 103 targets last year.
Right, and he probably had like
fucking insane, and it's just going to get more this year.
Right.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so, I think out of that first tier, I think the only guy I wouldn't take 101 is Puka. Because I don't know. To me, in my head, Puka's great, but like he's not in that same category as Jamar to me. Like he still isn't.
I agree. Even though he has almost numbers, borderline put JSN over Puka, especially just I don't know, man. The whole Puka thing, I'm scared, especially that he's hanging out with Neon now. All the off-season drama, like
Brant brought up a good point. Dude. Brant put up a good point. Bijan put up all those numbers last year while Algier was still playing and like getting reps. Now he's gone. So I mean, I don't know if it's not really going to affect much, but
I mean, you could could argue. We'll argue like we're legit going to see probably both them get at least an 80% share of snaps this year. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know so like Bijan was the RB2 and the RB3 the last 2 seasons. And you could probably argue over those 2 years, 8 plus touchdowns are probably taken away from Tyler and from So it's like it's really just I don't think there's no way you go wrong. I think you're picking between Bijan or Gibbs. But I agree. I think like if you were really, really, really ballsy and really down to say like Jamar is going to put up the numbers he did 2 years ago, by all means do it. I would, but so I would say my personal pick 101 right now. You gave me the pick. I'm taking Bijan.
Me too.
You guys are making it really hard to argue back with that because obviously I'm high on Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that's one of the most explosive offenses in the league. And yesterday, Vegas, me and you spent 10 minutes talking about Jahmyr Gibbs receiving yards, right?
Yeah.
He's just a weapon.
Yeah. I was gonna have a counter argument, but it's not that I don't like Gibbs. Obviously, I love Gibbs. I think he's amazing. It's just I'm a Bijan guy. I have his jersey. Like I've loved him out of college, so it's more like it's not biased, but I just think he gets more. He's gonna get more volume. And
the thing is, it's hard to argue that, especially with the whole Tua situation,
right?
Because Tua's ass. Like I'm not gonna beat the bush. He's fucking ass. He has no brain left. Like what's he gonna do? Dump it off to probably the most athletic and gifted receiving back he has, I guess.
No, I agree. And with Algier gone, that touchdown upside is gonna go up. Like he's gonna get all these red zone and goal line carries now that Algier was taken away from him.
Correct. You're right. Okay, since we're here, I have one more thing to discuss. What's fair to draft Justin Jefferson? Like I feel if you're according to this, if you're in a 10-man league, Justin Jefferson is going in the 2nd round,
which I think is fair. You know, I in my rankings, I think I have him wide receiver 7. I
should bring mine up.
I have Nico Collins over him. I'm not too sure, but it's not even a knock on Jefferson. It's more of like a Kyler Murray / JJ McCarthy knock. Like you really don't know what you're going to get out of the quarterback play, and it's kind of like if you have a 1st round pick, like you look at these other guys that you can take, like receiver wise, like Jamar, Puka, JSN, Amon-Ra, CD, like they all have a reliable quarterback, and then you get to Jefferson, and it's like. Kyler Murray, like, are you going to trust Kyler Murray all year?
JJ McCarthy. Yeah, you're right.
You know, like
you're right.
it's tough. Like I think Jefferson's great. Like he's
So my lane.
It's fine to be in on Jefferson. Like I'm never gonna be out on Jefferson. It's just there's a different direction I'd rather go than Jefferson.
See, that's fair. Especially when you can draft a guy like CD.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have him, I believe, in my 111 if I was to do like a 12-man. Really, I kind of see a world where he is like McCaffrey of last year, where he kind of slid in a lot of your home leagues because people were so hesitant from the year prior. So obviously with McCaffrey, you have the whole injury stuff. People were freaking the fuck out. Me included. I took McCaffrey in my 112. I got the report literally 2 days later that I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker is questionable for week 1. With Jefferson, I really do think he's still the best receiver in football. I don't think, people can argue it. Me personally,
I'm in the same boat. I'm right there with you. I think he's fucking disgusting.
Do think Kyler Murray is in for a good year in Minnesota. We watched fucking he was so ass I can't remember. Max Brosmer. We watched Max Brosmer,
dude. He threw that pick 6
for the Vikings, and that was just bad. Like that was bad. Jefferson was in a really tough spot all year last year, and it's fair. That's just what happens when your quarterback stuff is shaky and weary. But I think something that people aren't talking about enough though is what else the Vikings offense has brought in. I mean, they brought in Jawan Jennings as another piece. Yeah, you still have Jordan Mason. You still have Aaron Jones. Wow. You have a healthy Hawkinson. So coming into the year,
Addison,
that offense is very solid looking at it on paper, meaning that you still have to guard these guys in those scenarios. That I think Jefferson's going to have his back to what we think Justin Jefferson is type of year. I think if you take him in this 111 to like 202 range, you're going to get worth your price. I think anything earlier, you are taking a big risk because I do like Amon-Ra still for the receptions upside he has, and I do like CD because he's on a much more powerful offense. And I mean, with the Vikings too, you're also knowing that their defense is very solid. So there could be a game where it's just one of those slugfest kind of games, and you might only get like 5 catches, 70 yards, and maybe a touchdown. And if that touchdown, you're still looking at a 17, 18-point game. So it's tough. It's very tough to back guys where they had skeptical, questionable years. But I think it's also valid because there's certain points where you get into like your home leagues and you know how your friends draft, and that's my favorite part about it is you know where these guys are going to go because how everyone else is in your league, that eventually their value becomes too good that you can't pass it up.
Yeah, I agree.
That's kind of the boat that I'm in. Like if I see him, fuck, dude, I'm sitting 12th pick and I see Justin Jefferson and I can get the pick on the back nine, like I will be drafting him no matter what. And even if I'm sitting at like 9, I'm gonna start thinking about it. Like you get fuck.
Yeah, I mean
CMC thing is really scary though. He's scary.
Yeah, I understand why, but I've always been the type of person like you can't not take a guy because you think he could get injured. Because every person on this list can get injured.
Correct.
I understand the concerns like with the injury past. Like, yeah, it's been rough, but if CMC can stay healthy and he gets that workload that he got last year, which I don't see a reason they would change, like he's gonna be RB3 again and probably higher. You know, like he gets the touches, that you want out of a first round guy. I mean, I get the injury concerns, like it's almost every year at this point, but I've never been the type to fade a guy because he can get injured, because it can be any person can get hurt, you know?
Yeah. See, I think that's a great take, to be honest. Like you said, anybody can get injured on any given day. It's really up to God, to be honest. Fuck it. That being said, okay.
Well, I mean, Lane, I get that, but like teams have never been able to game plan around CMC. Like every year he's healthy. Like sorry to cut you off, Danny, but every year he's healthy, he gets 350 plus touches. Like, it's not like it's like a easy fix. Like the guy's been in the league for like 9 years now, and like every healthy year, it's been unstoppable. You know.
Yeah. So, I think a good thing though is like you got to think about it like this. Like this team is always filled with injuries. Look at it right now. We legit might not even see Ricky Pierce all year.
Right.
You bring in Mike Evans. We know. I will say, like, I never will hate on guys because I will never say, like, I'm not going to draft you because you're always hurt. But Mike Evans always has some form of a hamstring or shoulder injury every year. It's almost inevitable.
Yeah,
correct.
So, think about it. If you lose those two guys, you're looking at receiver at wideout. You're looking at DeJon Stribling as your wide receiver 1. Christian Kirk is your wide receiver 2. George Kittle, who's coming off an Achilles injury. I mean, somebody's got to get the ball. I think they're gonna decrease the touches that McCaffrey gets this year. Don't get me wrong, but that's still not me to say like he's still not gonna put up the numbers. I will say I think if you're gonna take him where he's at, like with the 105, 107 range, you are kind of drafting at that exact ceiling.
Yeah,
that's totally fine. But I think you know that the expectations should be tempered a little bit because they're not going to be what they were last year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's definitely not high on my board. Like, if I have that 7 to 10 range, like
Me neither.
I'm taking CD over him still. Probably taking James Cook over him. You know, if it's between JT and CMC, I'm going JT. You know,
okay, I have a question. So this might be a stupid ass question, especially how this works out, but would you rather have CMC or Derrick Henry day one? Like the answer should be CMC easily, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay. Just so I'm on the same page and I understand where we are.
Henry has
everyone's gonna we still love this guy and he's gonna be on it. And is he gonna play day one?
Derrick Henry or both?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I've been doing best ball drafts and I've had a couple starts of Unk Nation of CMC and Derrick Henry. And I've enjoyed it thoroughly because I am very in on both. But I could also see me by week 5 being like, holy shit, that team's dead. So that's the fun in it. Like, it's literally, people need to understand that before there was gambling, as we are now as adults, we gambled on fantasy football.
Right.
So that's our pre-learning.
It's the same exact fucking
thing. Like so like a big thing that I used to do was I was a big thing on value. I wanted to draft guys relatively in their ADP. I've thrown that fully out the window now because all rankings on other websites are terrible. So I obviously make my own, but you put them in tiers. And I think a big thing is looking at Vegas lines as well, because that can kind of tell you a certain amount of what's possible. I mean, like, I think Royal brought it up. I mean, I think Derrick Henry's almost looking at 1,500 yards before the year even starts.
Fucking insane.
It's unreal. I'm very in on the Ravens as a whole this year.
Yep.
I really do love the whole coaching change and everything. So we'll see. But yeah, that's my big takeaway. Like, it's just at the end of the day, you're gambling on guys to stay healthy and you're gambling on guys to get production like you think they will. So and that's what makes it fun. So
what's your guys like overall strategy like with the redraft? Are you guys attacking like receiver first round?
So
or is it pick dependent? Because
I think it's very pick dependent. Just because like you also like I think a lot of times like once you know your pick, you can game plan who will be in that area.
Yeah.
And that kind of helps you out.
Hella.
Like my biggest league is a $500 league and it's pretty much standard point scoring. So quarterbacks are a lot better than everybody else.
Yeah.
So the 101 most years is Josh Allen. So it kind of like wherever I go in the draft, I kind of just have to let the board just fall to me. And I just talk with my buddy and we say, hey, here's what we're going to do. I think this is the plan, blah, blah, blah. Because it's such different scoring. You can format your lineups any way you want. So we kind of just go with like, you can't really go in with a plan. You just kind of let it gotta come and fall to you. I think the consensus though is that if you are in the back end, you are more than likely going to running back start. If you're in the front, if you're in that middle, it's probably receiver, running back, maybe receiver. And then the start group is probably running back, maybe tight end, maybe another running back. So it's all dependent on how your friends draft, how you draft.
Yeah. So I have my like main league. I have 5 this year, and so my first round thought process is I'm just getting whatever guy falls, whether it's Jamar or JSN. It's gonna be one of those 3. So I'm going receiver in the first round, and then I like going receiver anyway because I like the running back in like that RB 10 to 12 range more than I like that receiver in that 10 to 12 range because like I'm very high on like one of my running backs this year that I'm very high on is Chase Brown. I was high on him last year. He had a shaky start to the year, but he ended great. I mean, I think like we said yesterday, like he can be like that Chase Brown like type of back where there's no other receiving help with him like in the backfield. Like he's gonna get all those touches out of the backfield. Like the difference like running back 12 is Chase Brown, and then wide receiver 12 is Chris Olave, which I like Olave, but like
that's your guy.
The drop off in receiver is heavier than it is at RB because like you can even scroll down more like running back 14 is Josh Jacobs, 15 is Javonte. Like the list is deep at running back, and then at receiver you're kind of getting into that like that Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin. Like you don't know what you're gonna get out of those guys, you know. So I always like getting like that solidified wide receiver 1. And then drafting my wide receiver 2, like that 4th, 5th round. I like going 2 RBs after that start, you know?
Yep.
Like I'm hoping I can go like JSN, Chase Brown, and then whatever one of those running backs is left after that, or maybe tight end. I don't know. I haven't thought about it much, but I like going receiver in the first round just because I think the running back class is deeper. And I feel like it's deeper, and it's also like
you said, receivers top heavy, man.
Yeah.
It's hella top heavy. Like
that's 2nd to 3rd round running backs. Like if you can go running back, you're ahead of most teams because like their running backs after that 3rd round, like the drop off is heavy.
In my opinion,
starters. So
receivers after Drake London is almost a drop off. Yeah. Like this here is a different tier than this here, in my opinion. I think AJ Brown barely fits the criteria for being an elite wide receiver in my eyes, but I think he does. And I think if you can get your hands on any of these 8 guys, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm also higher on some running backs that are on this top 8 or 9 that we see here. I'm not really high on Saquon.
Me neither, to be honest. I'm just out on Eagles this year.
Genty, I don't know. Staying away from I'm trying to stay away from bad teams this year.
So,
especially running backs. Like,
we should go back in on Genty. I kind of want you to explain this a little bit more. Why are you out on Genty? And another thing, like, is their O-line dog shit? Does anyone know?
I mean, they brought in Linderbaum. Linderbaum. They've been trying to draft more guys. But I will say, though, that, like, I think we're going to see more of a Clint Kubiak that we saw before he went to the Seahawks, which was more like when we came in, we figured it was going to be a lot of zone run, a lot of heavy sharing of Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, but they did a lot of like different than that. Like, I mean, we saw how JSN looked. To me, I think Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers are both in for crazy good years. I just think like the upside of Ashton Genty is insane. And I think like where he's right there, like if you were to tell me Saquon Barkley or Ashton Genty, I'm taking Ashton Genty probably 10 out of 10 times.
Every single time, yes.
And so right now Genty is my RB5. He's my RB5. It might move. I am very, very high on James Cook this year.
I have him at 6. Yep.
Yeah. So I just think like Genty, like it stinks that you're kind of drafting him where he was last year. But I think there's a reason for that. I really do. And I don't think the Raiders are going to be that bad. I would make the prediction that I think Mendoza is going to be in by like week 5. I really do.
Yeah.
And I as an IU guy, I could see 100%. I could totally understand people saying that they think he's going to be a bust. But I also think that this is a guy who just has a high level IQ of football. And I think he's going to know how to learn an offense, learn how to read defenses, understand that he has a absolute monster behind him at running back. And he has an absolute dog and of a safety blanket. Like I think those two are just going to get fed, and it's total, and it should be fun. I think it's more than fair for people to fade Genty at his price because they're skeptical of how the offensive line looks, of how last year looked, and that's totally fair.
Yep.
But I also think that you are missing out, and you will probably regret it.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of like you said, like I'm just fading him at that price. Like in my opinion, I think I'd rather Hampton and Kenneth Walker over Genty going into this year. You know, just both of them are in better situations. I mean, Hampton showed going into like, that back into last year, like that he is the guy there, and like obviously he is. There's nobody else there anymore, but he showed like he has that top 8 running back potential. And then Kenneth Walker, we talked about Kenneth Walker for
a lot. We did yesterday.
I'm very high on him this year.
He's gonna make the difference in that.
Yeah, I think
the Chiefs got their guy, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think you see they lean on Kenneth Walker a little bit more than you would see in the past that Chiefs running backs. Just, Mahomes off it, torn ACL. Like, I don't know how much they're really going to put on him to at least to start the year. Like, they're going to ease him in, and Kenneth Walker is just going to eat up all those running back carries. And I think he's in for a big year also. Like, I feel like he's not talked about enough. Like, last year he was sick. Like, put him in not a better situation, but you put him next to Mahomes with Rashee Rice on the outside. Like, there's no stacking the box there. It's
correct.
A situation like him with JSN, So, I like that situation a lot. I like Chase Brown. I'm out on HN. I don't know about you guys. Just don't.
Realistically, are we drafting Josh Jacobs? Like, I'm not.
Probably not.
And if I'm not, y'all better not.
I would say that if he is scot-free, everything is okay.
Thing is, in my Packer only leagues, that shit's gonna fucking suck.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think if everything's good and everything's fine, I would draft him. But I do have reason. I mean, Slack, you know better than me, but feel like maybe Trey Benson could be on the move to Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm
seeing that.
The thing is, if there's a lot of talks, and that's the thing with Marshawn Floyd, our backup, he's fucking the most injury-prone player I've ever seen in my life.
I think if he's healthy, there's a good chance like we could start seeing like a potential. Obviously, like Jacobs probably still gets like 70%, but I feel like maybe it starts creeping a little bit. Just because Marshawn Lloyd is very talented.
He is. He's a big dude.
But I think it's weird because Josh Jacobs is in that like weird spot of running backs that I feel like people always kind of call me personally, the dead zone is normally after those guys. I almost feel like the dead zone this year is those guys.
Starts with those guys. Yes, definitely.
I'm not against Javonte. I'm not against Kyron. I'm not against Brees. I'm not against Jacobs by any means. But I prefer those receivers in that tier a whole lot more.
I was going to say.
I like those running backs the round after a whole lot more than the receivers. So it's really just kind of how you feel about things. You kind of – and I do think the Packers are going to go a little more heavy up-tempo passing-wise. Yeah, and I don't know where Jacobs fits there in the receiving game. And, I mean, my goal tonight is to sell you on Christian Watson, and I think I'm going to get it done. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna try and sell on Watson and Golden because I do believe
I'm sold on Golden, but Watson.
I believe one of those two, if not both, are in for a massive year. And that also is a compliment to Jordan Love. It is because I was looking at futures props and I wrote down Jordan Love passing touchdowns. I could see a world where he's got potentially 30 this year.
Yeah.
Ball.
I was going to say, I do
MVP Love.
I am out on Jacobs because I think the touchdown number does go down.
Yep.
I think he had 14, 15 last year. I don't know the exact number, but
a lot of them were at the goal line.
So I think that touchdown number does decrease, and I just don't want to pay that price. I think his ADP is 27 right now.
Yeah.
Which I think is a little crazy when you can get David Montgomery at 61 or Jadarian Price at 66. Because realistically, if you're drafting Jacobs at 27, he's hopefully your RB2. I would hope. If he's your RB1, then you're in trouble off the jump.
Hella trouble.
But scrolling up, if you scroll up a little bit, I'd rather that tier 5 you see, I'd rather every receiver in that category. Egbuka.
I think me too.
I know Danny's very high on Ladd, so am I.
Yep.
Christian Watson. If you're low on Jacobs, I'd hope you're high on Watson. Neighbors looks to be healthy.
Yeah, that won't stay there that long. He's gonna.
I don't think that ADP is staying there for that long. It's up to wide receiver 12-ish.
Me personally, I think there's a world. I was kind of thinking in my head. I think I vault him either right in front of Nico Collins or right behind in that tier.
I think
I think between that second round receiver, it would probably be AJ Brown, Drake London, Neighbors, Nico Pickens.
I have him right after Nico.
Yeah. So I mean, it's once again
Neighbors, Nico. Hell no, dude.
I mean, I'm obviously a little biased because I am a Giants fan, but there is no doubt in my mind that Malik Neighbors is a top 5 talent at wide receiver. Yep. Talent. That's the big key word there.
100% agree with that.
talent.
Yes, he's fucking nasty. Especially like imagine how he was off his injury or like before he got injured. He was looking like fucking top 3 talent. He's looking like
he's
Jamar
gonna
Chase
get
and
peppered.
Justin Jefferson.
He's gonna get peppered. Yeah, and it's just like you got to also think about where the Texans are going to be in the fourth quarter and where the Giants are going to be in the fourth quarter.
Yep, that's another thing.
That is a big thing because you could always like the big thing for me is like it could be a really bad game for New York and they could be down 20, but Malik Neighbors could put up the most garbage line stat line and turn that 2-point game into 20, and then you've got a nice little 9-point game from Nico Collins because their defense just was shutting the other team out and they decided to run the ball. So it's really you always got to look at situation. You always got to look at where you're at. You got to look at kind of how they're going to call their offense. I will say I am a little bit worried about how the Giants offense will look with Nagy and Roman. So that's going to be the biggest thing. I think as preseason goes on and you start seeing it, and if he's getting the reps, we'll see more. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. And that's why it's always fun because there's like people argued the tier after of like Ladd, Igbuka, like how would you rank those guys? And it's really just like at the end of the day, who do you really believe in to go get the job done? So.
Yeah.
Right.
I think in this tier, the only guy I'm really out on fully is probably Terry. Adams.
And why?
I don't know. I don't really like this situation. Like you don't know what you're getting out of Washington every year. Like we literally talked about this yesterday, like with their season long stuff. Like Daniel's coming back off injury. Like I'm hoping he bounces back because like he's a very good, young, talented quarterback, and I think the NFL needs that. But you don't know how good he's gonna look. Like you don't know how good. Like I assume they're gonna try to transform him into more of like a Lamar type where he sits in the pocket and he's throwing the ball 30, 35 times a game, but has the ability to run because he's gotten hurt so many times running. And it's a different adjustment to make. Like it's tough becoming like a scrambling type of quarterback into like that pocket passer. So I think that this year I'm off on all Washington guys, but I do think like 2-3 years from now, like Jaden Daniels is back into that like fantasy QB1 category where he can just pop off, you know.
Is Ayuk going to Washington? We ever find out what's up with that?
No,
I think Ayuk played his last snap of football.
That's what I'm starting to think. He's starting to look bad, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to hit Viggs with my first disagree of the night.
Hell yeah.
I am thoroughly in on Terry McLaurin this year. I already bet his over 925 passing or receiving yards this year. So I'm a bit like this time of year, I'm huge on just reading a ton of articles, reading a ton of Twitter stuff from all these guys that I respect in the fantasy realm. So my big take is that I believe David Blau is going to take over as the interim head coach week 8, maybe moving forward. I could see a world where the Commanders come out very, very, very slow. Dan Quinn's just not the guy to get it done. I love the coaching tree that Blau has been in. Obviously was under tutelage of Ben Johnson and all these other things. And I really do like what he's got planned for Terry. They want to move him everywhere. They want to move him inside the slot. They want to move him to the outside. They want Daniels to play under center more, which would probably mean a lot of more play action. And hopefully if the game looks good, that's going to lead to Terry over the top. And I would say the guy that I really like for the Commanders late is Chigakonkwo. I think Chigakonkwo is going to be an awesome.
Yeah,
I think he's going to
beast.
I think he's gonna be an awesome tight end because you saw how Daniels and Zach Ertz looked. I think he knows he likes a guy to sit in that middle, sit in that flat to get the ball out to, and I think Chig's an athletic type of tight end to go make a play. I'm around Commanders fans all the time, being in Maryland, so I know what they're all talking about, how they're all feeling. I really just think this is a really big buy Terry potentially at a really big floor almost, because I think where I am getting him is where I think he could finish. And I think if on here they have him as wide receiver 20, if you're telling me right now that Terry McLaurin would be a top 20 receiver, I'd be like, sure, I'll take it if he's my wide receiver too.
I gotta take it.
He has the upside to be inside the top 12. Because the touchdowns get there. The 2 years prior of Jaden Daniels' rookie year, he was putting up insane touchdown numbers. So if you're in a type of league like that, I think Terry McLaurin's a great buy. I think Peter Apple took his over touchdowns.
Touchdowns.
I think it's like 5.5, maybe 6.5. So I am in on Terry. I'm a little bit. I don't know if I'm in on Jaden Daniels at his price. So I would say in this tier 5, I think if Jeremiah Love was at 42 on almost every rankings board, I would probably take him. He's in my I think he's just outside my RB10. He's going to be an interesting one. I think he's like a Genty of last year, really going to show year 1. But we'll see. ETN's price has gotten to where I think it should be now, and I think he's becoming a little more draftable. I think Garrett Wilson is going to be criminally disrespected again in the fantasy world.
Yeah.
I know Geno Smith is at quarterback.
He's ass, dude. Geno is ass.
I know. But at the end of the day, Garrett Wilson is in the realm of what we talk about with Drake London and these guys that just have never had a truly good quarterback. But we see the ceiling that they can have. And I kind of am in on the Jets offense a teeny bit. I think at the prices you can get them, it's fairly solid. But yeah,
go fuck KP, bro.
I really do like Garrett at price, but I would say the two guys that I would try to draft in this range.
I know who they are.
Single draft is
Ladd
and Waddle.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle is going to be a league winner this year. I could go on for hours talking about what I believe, but I believe that them bringing in a guy like Davis Webb is huge. I do think that Davis Webb is going to be an NFL head coach within the next 2 years.
I agree.
I think Bo Nix also criminally underpriced. I think.
Yeah, he's got the running upside.
I'm almost getting to the point where I think Bo Nix is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. I really do. I think he has so much haters. I think he has way more haters than he has likable stuff. Yeah. But I think what I love so much about this Broncos offense coming up this year is that they want to move Waddle everywhere. More than likely, he's going to be playing in the slot. I've already seen what Bo Nix can do with Cortland Sutton as an over-the-top type receiver, and I've seen what Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims have done together in that role. Waddle is going to take both their roles and times it by 2 because he's just going to be everywhere that Bo Nix needs him to be, and they want to use him as a joker. I think the best a joker type of what Debo has done and what he's getting. He's going to probably be in some really crazy formations lined up, and it excites me a ton because yes, I could argue that the Broncos defense is going to be top 3. They're going to be in a lot of those games where they're probably just pummeling on the team, no doubt. But I also think that they have something to prove on offense to a lot of people.
I love how you worded that.
Yeah. Because I think people look at them and they're just you look at the AFC West. I would like to believe that people still think the Chiefs are the top team and the Chargers there's been so much love for the Chargers and I think it's totally valid. But at the same time,
I love the fucking Chargers, bro.
I've already looked at Broncos Super Bowl. It's 20-1. I think that's an insane number. I really do.
Broncos Packers rematch.
If Bo Nix is playing in the AFC Championship last year, they are in the Super Bowl. That is just simply put. They are in the Super Bowl last year if Bo Nix is healthy.
Correct.
And it's a good football team. And whether people like Sean Payton or not, I hate him from fantasy perspectives. He's an absolute I don't even have words for how frustrating it gets with fantasy sometimes with him. But at the end of the day, the guy knows how to coach a winning football team, and that is what excites me for the Broncos this year. So yeah, I mean, I will say this year I'm very in range of I love a ton of guys versus I hate a ton of guys. So that's what kind of makes it a hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm having trouble looking at this board and being I don't like him because what I was gonna say you jumped around a little bit, but you hit all the points I was about to hit. Jeremiah Love, I was gonna say is gonna have that Ashton Genty type of year, but if you're giving it to me at RB17, I'm jumping all over that.
Yeah.
Because I do think that. I don't think the Cardinals are gonna be good, but I think the Cardinals are gonna be good. I think the Cardinals are gonna be bad because I don't think their defense is gonna be able to stop anyone.
Yeah.
So they have a negative game script the whole year. They're gonna have to be up and down the field on offense. The defense is not gonna be able to contain anyone. So they're gonna be in shootout type of games. I think Jeremiah Love is going to get his touches. I think he's going to end up having 20, 25 touches a game, scoring hopefully 8, 9 touchdowns, And then I think I worded the Terry take wrong. I don't think I'm out on Terry. I think I'm just higher on Ladd and Waddle.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
Yeah.
If I'm
I think that's a
better way to put that.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I believe. So when I've been doing best ball drafts, I've been trying to get as many shares as all of them as I can because you want to diversify your portfolio.
Yeah.
But if I had to make top 4, like a tier list of those 4, because I'm going to throw Ibuka in there too, because I think he's going to look.
I think he's one for me.
Yeah. So I think Ibuka is going to look.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go back to that form we saw 6 weeks into the year.
Yeah, without Evans.
I mean, he had a nagging hamstring injury. If you've watched quarterback, you saw how gruesome Baker's shoulder has looked that entire year. So it's going to be in it, and I think their defense, if Vita Vea goes, that defense is going to be very, very bad at stopping the run. And that means, how do they come back in games? They're going to have to need shootouts.
Yeah, so, I mean, another thing is you saw what Ibuka did without Evans on the field and without Godwin for a little bit. Like,
correct.
People were like talking about
he can be the guy.
Johnson, you know, like he looked unbelievable that first. What was it like?
Ohio State legend, by the way.
With like 8 weeks without Evans, like he looked unbelievable.
Yeah, I love it too, because it's like he was never the best at Ohio State, but if you looked at the receivers he was with, it's kind of hard to be the best. Yeah, so it makes your talent look so much better to the next team you go to.
That's exactly right.
So if I had to rank it, I would probably go Ladd, Waddle, Ibuka, Terry. But it's like all so goddamn close for me that I am in a league of Commanders fans, so I have no doubt in my mind I will not be getting Terry McLaurin. That only helps me.
I think that'll help you.
Yes, that only helps me because I will have friends going after Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin in that round and trying to stack it if they can, versus me saying, here I can potentially get a Waddle and Ibuka together. So we'll see. But overall, that like round 3, round 4 receiver excites me a ton, because obviously people are going to want to say, hey, let's find the next JSN. I don't think you need to find the next JSN per se. I think you just need to find the next top 8 receiver in the range of where he's not going as a top 8. So that's what makes it kind of fun to me.
Yeah.
And then the next tier, Slack, if you want to move down, I'm curious to know.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to turn off Twitch ads.
Yeah, I think this is the tier that we need to hit the most on, because I'm very high on a couple guys here, and I'm also very low on a couple guys here. I'll start off with, I talked about him yesterday, Jadarian Price, RB26. I think he has the upside to be our top 10 RB this year. I saw the reports today about Charbonnet, like he might be ready for week 1. There's no way. He tore his ACL November?
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna have a quick turnaround. And we also see what happens with RBs coming off a torn ACL. It's never good, and it's never good off the bat. So I think Jadarian Price is gonna do enough early to probably solidify the role for the year at least the main role. I think Charbonnet will come back in later in the year and take away some touchdowns, but I think you're looking at 250 touches from this guy the whole year, and you're getting him at RB26 behind a guy like DeAndre Swift, who I'm not high on. You know, I think this is where you find the league winner in this tier right here.
Yeah,
on both
I would
sides,
agree.
Running back and receivers.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the Seattle running back situation is really, really interesting. Because I almost am buying a little bit of this Holani at RB1 in camp so far. But I also am buying this as Price just isn't up to speed yet. And he's got 2 more months to figure that out. I think they might run a little bit of a committee to start. And I think it's a slow. I will say this. I think Jadarian Price is going to be your best buy low candidate by week 4.
I think if they do run a committee, I think Jadarian Price is still going to take those goal line carries inside the 5.
No, I agree.
And I do think he's going to end up being that RB1 role by week 4. So,
yeah, I like him.
I like that you said like week 3 buy low. Yeah.
No, and KB, don't get me wrong. I'm not buying it 100%, but I am buying the fact that I do think he's going to need time to grow into the role. And like I said, I think if he has a couple slow starts, you go buy him ASAP, because you're going to start seeing it. Because for me, it's like when you look at running backs, it's more on touches. It's who's getting the volume versus receivers is who's getting the snap share and the route share. So me personally, I am very high on DeAndre Swift this year. I think there's a lot of
Swift
room
is a dog, bro.
I think there's a lot of room for him to grow in this receiving game with the Bears. And I think Luther Burden staring me in the face right now on this tier. I will continue to say as much Luther Burden words as I can. But at the same time, I'm a little hesitant because everybody knows about him and is on the same train.
Yeah.
That the guy
He's so fucking good.
The guy I fully want to buy from the Bears this year is Colston Loveland. I think he is in for an incredible and Slack. Don't get me wrong. I love Tucker Kraft. This isn't me trying to rank. This isn't me trying to rank who's better. This is me saying that I just fully believe the way the Bears are going to use Colston Loveland this year is going to be an absurd way of football.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to look like what Kelsey looked like to Mahomes. Like, I think that Caleb Loveland is going to be one of those stacks that you're like, wow, like,
yeah, for
this
sure.
is dangerous. Like, that's a league-winning stack because, I mean, I've been doing mocks at the 105, and I've been taking Loveland in the 4th round almost every single time.
Yeah.
Because I think you're getting that Kelsey – sorry, Danny, but real quick. I think you're getting that Kelsey type of volume in the 4th round.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's why I'm there. But.
Slack, do me a favor real quick and go up just a little bit because I want to see where Loveland is on here. Yeah, so they have – okay, so Loveland is the tight end 3 at 38. Whoa. Then your next drop down is Tucker Kraft, Tyler Warren area. And that
is down
that's
here.
A fairly like this is another thing I want to hit on is just that's a fairly decent drop off.
That's a big ass drop off.
Quality. And I really do believe that if you really want to be a successful fantasy team this year, you got to find a way to get Bowers, McBride, or Loveland. I really do.
100% agree.
I think they're all going to be in a 15-plus point tier versus the next guy looking at potential 10-plus in that week.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. If Tucker Kraft
I want to eat a poisonous apple listening to this conversation.
It's not a knock on Kraft.
No, if Kraft is good and 100%, I think he's going to be back to what he did last year, where he looked amazing. And that was what excited me because I had Kraft and I was drafting Kraft as my second tight end, but I was like, I know for a fact he's going to be my best tight end when it comes time.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. But this running back range of your Junkins, Bucky, Swift, Travion, Monty, Tootin, Price.
How do we feel about him?
Tootin, I am going to say a bunch of words on Tootin.
I like him.
He's very good.
I'll buy it at the price, but
yeah,
that's I'm not really super high on him.
I think he's the most explosive, obviously, running back in that room. But as Brant's mentioned, Liam Cohn's big on efficiency, and I think Chris Rodriguez is a very efficient runner. I'm not denying that Chris Rodriguez isn't going to get snaps. He isn't going to get his touches. I think that it's going to be frustrating because there's going to be times where you're like, God, if you wish that was Tootin, whatever. But I think where you draft Tootin, if he's your RB2, potentially even flex running back, he has the upside to become one of your top 2 running backs. I think that's the biggest thing. It just depends on your build. That's all it really matters is where your build's at. If you were looking at this range and you said, I need an RB2 that I think I know what I'm going to get with the potential to get there, I'm going David Montgomery. David Montgomery and DeAndre Swift because I think you know where they're at and I think you know where they can go. The guy I am out on 100% this year, I don't want any shares to do, is Bucky. I really do think Kenneth Gainwell is going to have something to say in this backfield. Bucky is not a good runner inside the goal line. Gainwell is probably going to take that from him. Gainwell is a much better receiving option than Bucky is, in my opinion. So it's really just I think Bucky and him are going to have those games like how Warren and Gainwell was. So one week you're just picking whoever, and that's the problem. Best ball, by all means, take them, hit on it. If you're hit on it, great. Redraft, I'm not taking that risk.
I agree.
So when I have one season, I don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah. A little biased, but I am very high on Scadaboo going into the year because, like I said yesterday,
he's a fucking CTE pro.
He gets every single red zone and goal line touch, and that's what you're gonna want out of a flex running back. I think he's gonna be start as that number 1 flex guy. If you're in a 2 flex league, he'll be your RB3, but I think he has that potential to be that RB2 by the end of the year. Because he's going to get so many touches and he's going to get so many goal line opportunities. He's going to score. I would say he's going to score 8 touchdowns, maybe 10. But I think, last year, I think all the memes about him being CTE this, CTE that. I think they what's the word? Overlook how good of a running back he really is.
Yeah, he's fucking insane, dude.
He's a very good pass catcher too, and nobody sees it. He can go for
even in college he was.
Even in college, you saw him that Arizona State.
Yeah, the fucking pass over the top.
dude, like he's a very good pass catcher, and like for the second-year dart, I would assume they're gonna lower the running from him a little bit. Like he's gonna get a lot of dump offs, and I think you're gonna see a lot more Scatterboo than you see Tracy in the pass game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm high on him. Like Danny said, the only guy in this list I'm really not drafting anywhere is Bucky.
Yeah.
But I like David Montgomery a lot. I think him going to Houston is going to be huge. I think he's another guy like you saw with him and Gibbs. Like he's the goal line back. I think he'll get all the goal line touches. And like when you're looking for RB3, or if you went receiver heavy in RB2, like you're looking for a guy who can just score for you, have like 12 points with a touch, like 60 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's what Dave Montgomery's going to be. I think Royal's on him to have 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah.
That's his line. Like, I do like that. So, I mean, RB23 at 61, ADP 60-ish range, like, that's the perfect guy for this tier. Like, that's probably my favorite one out of all of them, him and Darren Price. But I wouldn't say I'm low on Swift. I just think I like Montgomery, Price, and Scatterboo more. Like, I think I would put Swift at running back 4 or 5 in this range. Him and Judkins 4 or 5 interchangeable. But
yeah, that's fair.
I like
Brant. I agree though. That is my exact thoughts. Don't think the run game is going to be that good. Think they're going to have to throw a ton because the defense isn't going to be as good. Yep. I am buying Igbuka and Godwin both.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, right. I agree. I know Brant said before, like we haven't talked about a lot of Jaguar guys. A guy I do want to talk about.
They're probably below this in the next year.
They're right below this. The guy I do want to talk about is Brian Thomas Jr.
Yep.
There's your guy right here.
Guy.
There's your other guy right here.
Yeah. I fully expect Brian Thomas Jr. to retake the wide receiver 1 role, and I expect it to happen early. You're getting a guy who had a down year because he didn't score. He still put up 700 yards, and it was a down year. This is a guy who his rookie year put up 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. You know, like that talent doesn't just go away. Like he's not gonna just forget how to play football.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about yesterday. We need the Jaguars are gonna need to have a good offense to compete in the AFC South. And getting Brian Thomas back into form is what they need. You know, we just talked about the run game is questionable with Tootin and Rodriguez. You don't know exactly what you're gonna get out of them. Even though I do like Tootin, but Brian Thomas, I think he's in for another 1,000-yard year, and we saw his receiving line at like 725. Like I think he's clearing that with ease, and I think he is the clear. And you're getting him at wide receiver 32. You're getting him under Marvin Harrison Jr. and Alec Pierce. You know, like the price. I'm willing to be very wrong, and we can clip this. I'm willing to be very wrong when you're getting a guy like Brian Thomas who was getting traded for ridiculous pieces his rookie year in dynasty leagues. Like he was getting traded. I remember I got offered like Justin Jefferson for Brian Thomas.
Yep.
And like they want like Brian Thomas was a heavy piece in dynasty leagues. Like everyone thought he was going to be the next best thing. Like people thought he was going to be what Neighbors is, you know. And I still think he can get back to that level. It was just one down year, you know. Like everyone's writing him off like he had like 300 yards and did nothing. Like I think he's going to bounce back, and I think he's going to bounce back very, very well. So right. That's my clear-cut wide receiver 1 in Jacksonville.
I think I 100% agree with you. Like I said, he's an LSU receiver, and Trevor Lawrence is a fucking dog, in my opinion, and their team is only getting better. I have him honestly written down the same as I have Tutton written down, Tutton, whatever the fuck. Bunch of dogs out there in Jacksonville. I know Brant's hard as shit with me saying that, but I mean, they just got a bunch of dogs out there. O-line, they got Cole Van Lannon, Bayport Badger legend, bro. Come on, dude. You already know.
Like, would you rather Brian Thomas Jr. or DK Metcalf?
Oh, BTJ easy. I am incredibly out on LSU legend. I hate DK this year. So for me, I'm gonna talk about the obviously other guy. First off, Trevor Lawrence is going to be on my MVP tickets. I truly, the way he ended last year, and obviously, like even in the playoff game against.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who did you say? Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
I think this is it. I think him and Herbert. This is finally the year of both of them proving why they've where they were drafted and where their teams are going to be. And like I was listening to you guys last night, and I think you were talking about what division I think excites you the most. You said the AFC West. For me, I think it's the AFC South. I am very, very excited to see how Tennessee bounces back with Dable and Salah. I'm excited to see how Jacksonville and Houston compete for the 1, and I still think the Colts are a solid team.
I agree.
So for me, I want to talk about Parker Washington. This guy flew up. He's right there. He flew up kind of in the middle of last year. My only concern right now is he will not be on the field in 2 wide receiver sets. But I think it'll be known that he is their more than talented receiver to probably – like I'm not going to say they should go run 3 wide receiver sets. I think what they're going to run is great, and I think it's going to be really good for them. But I think – I'm not – and this is nothing against Jacoby Myers either. I think Jacoby Myers is great. I really think they have a solid wide receiver core out down there. I just think the skill of Parker Washington is very, very, very good, and it's so hard to not click the button on him because he's one of those guys that just plays the slot. And I'm a slot – I don't even think I could say that other word on here, but I'm a slot SLE.
Yeah, we got it.
So I just love guys that play the slot. I love the first option of when as soon as you snap that ball, who are you probably looking to? You're probably looking to your slot receiver because he's the guy who either got a break or got something. He's got a good route going. And I've been reading what he's been saying. Like he said, like Liam Cohen texted him. He said, "I'm ready to kill. I'm ready to get better this year." I buy a lot of those things because I believe that if you believe that you're that type of player, then there's so much room to grow. But I will say this. I don't know if I'll get there on any of their receivers in redraft because I think you're better off just drafting Trevor Lawrence. Why have to debate who's going to be the best of the 3 when you could have the guy that has to get the ball to all 3?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So that's where I am in a redraft perspective. Obviously, and that because the problem is that you're drafting both of them and then you draft both of them within 5 picks of each other, and then you draft probably Myers another round later. So so it's really, really tough. On this list in this tier, I really love Sam Laporta to bounce back. I am so high on Laporta, and I am so high on Tucker Kraft to both bounce back this year. With Drew Petzing at offensive coordinator, his offenses have been very known for what he likes to do, getting their tight ends involved. I was on the Sam Laporta team.
You're good.
Sam Laporta, his rookie year, I was all over. I was telling people, like, if you want a guy like as a dart tight end late, Brant, I will get into Shuck 100%. And when we get there. But I just love the outlook for Laporta with Goff at a healthy. And I think you're getting him at a really solid price. Like, to me, if you don't get the top 3, like I mentioned, Laporta's the next guy to go after. And then if you miss out on Laporta, I really believe you just nuke tight end and you just go for the dart throws.
Yeah, so I was gonna say if you don't get one of those top 3 or Laporta, the guy you're probably going after should be Gadsden. Yeah. At his ADP, I think his ADP is like 1.
Yeah, he has a very solid price.
But real quick, I gotta run in like a minute. But what I'm attacking in this range, besides Brian Thomas, is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott at quarterback 10.
Where's he? Right here?
Yeah.
Down here?
No, he's up. He's up. He's right. He's
right here. Yep.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we know what this offense is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you're gonna get, in my eyes, a top 5 talent-wise quarterback in the NFL at QB 10 after guys like Trevor Lawrence. Like, Trevor Lawrence is a fine pick to me, but I do think Dak will outperform him in fantasy-wise just because we know what the type of games these Cowboys can get in.
Yep.
You know, like that offense is unbelievable. Why would you not want the quarterback? So
correct.
Dak is the guy I'm targeting, and if I don't get Dak, then a little biased, Jackson Dart, QB 11. I think that
Dart.
I think around 90 is a good price for him with the rushing upside, and I think the offense does take a step forward. I think he's going to have Neighbors back healthy by hopefully week 3, the latest, and then Isaiah Likely. I think Isaiah Likely is a big piece for Dart. So, that's what I got.
All right.
But I mean, if you guys can stay on, I got to run. But
yeah, I mean, I
Just
don't
like
think. I think I have a
are we
question
live
for you.
tomorrow?
No, we're done for the week.
Okay.
Okay, Monday. Danny, would you like to continue this next week, Wednesday?
I think we talk. I would say a better one would be like, there's like a week or two before the season, because then I think we know a lot more.
Okay.
And I think more people will actually have their picks then and their draft spots then. To answer Sushi, if he's still in here with sleeper tight ends, three that I really like right now. I really like Greg Dulcich in Miami. There's going to be a lot of targets to go to. I think he's the guy. I think Gunnar Helm in year 2 with Cam Ward is going to be a really solid piece. And I would probably argue
Juwan Johnson, New
Yes,
Orleans.
Juwan Johnson with Shuck. I'm a big fan. And then there might be one more that I had.
That one was for you, Viggy.
I do think Kenyon Sadiq will have some play.
That's fun.
This year.
That's fun. Oregon legend.
Yep. So,
right.
Yeah, once again, thanks, brother. Thanks, guys.
Hey,
I love
we
talking.
We appreciate you.
Yep.
We will definitely be running this back, honestly, very shortly.
We could rip
Monday.
What? We can even do a mock. We can do a mock on Wednesday.
That's exactly.
We could also do, if you guys really want to have some fun, we could do a best ball draft.
I'm down. I'm down for that. We can do
that. Would be fucking sick. That's what we should for sure do.
And I have that. I also have the BDG subscription. We can do fantasy drafts. Like it's like.
Fuck yeah, bet.
We get prompts for each position. We rip that. Like we can get another guy on here. Get 4 guys. Rip that. Like.
That's sick. Okay, bet.
We can do that shit. Great ideas. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Don't forget to follow or subscribe if you're on Twitch. Don't forget to follow Danny and Vigs on Twitter at DoubleDownDanny at It's Vigs. Don't forget to use code SLACK at ProfitX. Don't forget to use code Vigs at Picket at sign up. Get up to $100 back of your sign up. We love you all. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Peace.